Hello again and welcome to the Warhammer 40K Genestealer cult video. All praise the four-armed emperor. So this is another quick Genestealer cult video, guys. I want to keep this one nice and short and sweet. As I've said, I was going to do the occasional Genestealer cult video. At the moment, I'm pretty excited about my new models, so it's probably going to be one a week. But I imagine that'll tail off over the next few weeks now. It's just going to be sort of one every so often. But I thought I'd give you guys a little update on how it's going. I've painted 8.5 neophytes so far. Did the sergeant last week, and yeah, really like the way he's come out. He's got auto gun and he's got a cultist knife. I'm not actually sure if he's allowed to take the auto gun and cultist knife. I think he has to take a pistol and a close combat weapon, or a long range weapon, and that's it. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see. Anyway. Yeah, I really like the way how this model turned out. I mean, I'm not great at doing the facial expression, so I haven't done his like teeth or anything. But I really like how the way the knife turned out. It's meant to be. I'm going with the whole sort of Nod, Command and Conquer, Brotherhood of Nod vibe. So but it's meant to be sort of interwar period. So in between the first game and the second game, where they've got sort of grey armor in the first game, but red armor and stuff in the second. Grey armor in the first game, red armor in the second game, Tiberian Sun. So this is like interwar period, these guys, like they're in between the two. So they've got red bits, like they've got red guns, they've got the red scorpion, they've got red shoulder pads, but they've still got a lot of their grey armor as well. And yeah, and I did the knife, and the knife is what I really like about this model, because I was going to go for like a silver knife at first, but I wasn't so like, I didn't like it. It looked too much silver in one place. Especially with, you know, his hand has got a bit of armor plating on it, and then there's the handle. And then I thought I'd go for like bronze, like a sacrificial knife. But I thought, wouldn't it be cool if you had a knife that was like a big shard, a big bit of Tiberian. It's got a Tiberian shard knife, and I figured that could be really cool. That could be really cool. So that's what that's going to be. It's the colours I used. If anyone is interested, I used Cabalite Green for the base, and then I washed it about 3 or 4 times in BL Tan Green, and then I highlighted it and dry brushed it in Moot Green. So if anyone's interested, that's the process I went through, and I really like the way it turned out. I think it's a very sort of cool looking thing, and at the end of the day, if he's not allowed to have a cultist knife, then it's just a knife. There you go. I'm sure it doesn't really matter though. Anyway, so that's a little bit of an update on the army, how we're doing. This is the test scheme for it. One thing I wanted to ask though, one question, because like I said, I'm very inexperienced with Genestealer cult. I know very little about them, and the more I look at them, the more I think they're going to be playing very differently to Guard. I know I did that video about how you could use neophytes with Liam Russ and stuff, and that does work to a certain extent, but I think it's not. I think that is very powerful, is all I'm going to say. It's not exactly fluffy to the Genestealer cult though, and this army is meant to be a bit of a fluff army. So one thing I was looking at though is I initially, like with the sort of Goliath truck and all that kind of thing, I initially just dismissed certain options that the Genestealer cultists had available to them, and one of them was shotguns or the neophytes. Now, for those of you that don't know, essentially neophyte hybrids, they have the same stats as guardsmen, except for they literally exact same stats, except for they've got +1 leadership to represent their fanaticism, and they come with auto guns, but they also come with auto pistols, and your sergeants can take auto guns as well. But you can swap all that. You can swap the auto guns for las guns, which are exactly the same, strength 3, rapid fire 1, or shotguns. And every single one of these guys can take a shotgun. Now that's kind of interesting, because one, shotguns are cool, and the shotguns that the neophytes get, they're a good mix. Whereas the auto guns just look like auto guns, and maybe one's got a curved magazine, maybe one doesn't. The shotguns are a lot more mixed. You've got pump action, you've got break barrel, You've got what look like civilian shotguns, what look like combat shotguns. Yeah, a whole host of different shotguns available, but they look a lot more ragtag, a lot more militia. And I am thinking, I do want to. I don't know if I want to have any. I mean, I'm thinking about having some shotguns in the army just for rule of cool. But that got me taking a closer look, and I think these neophytes could be made into quite acceptable assault troops. So what you would do is you would take a big blob of 20 of these things, okay? And you give every single one of them shotguns. Now, for those of you that don't know, and that's free, by the way. For those of you that don't know, shotguns are Assault 2 lasguns. So you get 2 shots at close range. But if you're within half range, so 6 inches, you get +1 strength. So you get strength 4. Now that's with a Primus attached to these guys, with the ability to potentially very easily get very close to the enemy. That is, from one squad, 40 strength 4 shots. That is not to be dismissed. Then you can give, you can take 2 flamers in that squad as well. And then you could also take like 2 heavy stubbers. Heavy stubbers strength 4 as well. And the sergeant could take a power maul. Power maul's only 4 points. Or you could take a power pick if you want to be able to do D3 damage. I think the power maul would be better, because that would give you +2 strength. So you have strength 5 sergeant. And the interesting thing is that you could then take a cult icon with these guys. Now, cult icon is a flag. You can legitimately take flags in your guards. If you're running these as guards, you can take these as flags. That's incredible. Like, I love having flags in units that actually mean something. And that flag, the cult icon, allows you to reroll 1s to hit in combat. It's pretty good. The Primus, let's assume that you've taken a Primus with them, gives you +1 to hit in combat. So you're hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And then you could use a psychic power called Might from Beyond. Okay. And I believe, I'm just going to double check this now, because obviously I'm not super familiar with Genestealer Cult, but I believe that Might from Beyond gives you +1 attack and +1 strength. Now let me just double check, because I don't want to speak it out of my butt. It definitely gives you +1 strength, which is really, 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 really good. Brood Mind Discipline, Might from Beyond, +1 strength and +1 attack for a turn. So suddenly, you imagine this situation. You've got your Primus, you've infiltrated this. Might from Beyond's got an 18-inch range. You should be able to get in range one way or another. So you put the Primus in there. You get your guys within 6 inches using Cult Ambush. You blast the enemy with 40 strength 4 shots. You then charge the enemy. You put Might from Beyond on this unit. That's another 40 strength 4 attack. So that's 80 strength 4 attacks in one go. We're dismissing things like the power maul as well. Let's keep it simple. So that's literally 80 strength 4 attacks. Now you can take this one further. And you could take the relic, the banner of the cult ascendant, which gives you another +1 strength, which is really, 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 really good. I'm trying to see I'm trying to see if there's a cult relic. There you go. Icon of the cult ascendant, add +1 to the strength characteristic of Genestealer cult infantry units while they're within 6 inches of the bearer. So that means, yes, you've got to combine a lot of things, but this is the guard. We're good at synergy. That means if you didn't take any upgrades, for 100 points you get 20 guys. Now you'd have to obviously buy a bunch of characters, but you're probably going to be taking an Icon Ward anyway for the 6 inch for the 6 of Feel No Pain. You're definitely going to be taking a Primus anyway, because Primuses are great, and you're probably going to be taking a Patriarch or a Magus. So they're not characters you wouldn't be taking anyway. But for 100 points plus a minimum of like 150 points of like support characters, you could get 80 strength 4 attacks on the enemy in one turn. And because you're Genestealer Cult, you can do that turn 1. You're not restricted by the whole deep striking bollocks of the most recent FAQ. So that's very tasty. And some of you might be saying, well, how can you just guarantee that? How can you just guarantee that you're going to be getting within 6 inches? Well, you can't absolutely guarantee, but you could take a Primus, which allows you to roll 2 dice when caught ambushing, and you get to re-roll the result of any of those dice. And you can also use a stratagem which gives you another dice. So if you have a Primus plus a squad of 20 of these guys, you get to roll 3 dice and re-roll any of those when it comes to the cult ambush result. So that's essentially 6 opportunities to get they come from below or a deadly trap. Okay? Either one of those is perfect. Are you a 5 or a 6? So you get 6 attempts to get a 5 or a 6. That's pretty good. And like I said, that's 40 strength 4 shooting attacks, and then 40 strength 4 close combat attacks, and then you're re-rolling 1s, hitting on 3s. You can boost that up to strength 5 as well, which is really good versus Marines. All that 100-point base unit. That's not too shabby. That's not too shabby at all. I know some of you are going to be screaming heresy. I know some of you are saying blah blah blah. But look, guys, this is an assault unit. This is a Gaza assault unit right here. Bayonets, fixed bayonets. Tell me what you guys think. How does this work in reality? Is there any point in doing this, or is it better to just take 20 pure stain Genestealers and just destroy your opponent? But 20 pure stain Genestealers, that's going to cost you 300 points. It's cost you 100. So, what are we thinking? Tell me what you tell me. Genestealer Cult players out there, tell me your thoughts. Guardsman players out there, tell me what you're thinking. I think this could be something that is at least worth having a go with. So, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time.